Hello, hi everybody. This is Lebohang again. Welcome to my channel. I am here again. I wanted to have a chat with you with regards to some experience that I had a while ago. Um, a while ago, I went on a deliverance session, and just lately, God just put it in my heart to just speak about it, right? So I went through a deliverance session, right? So I talked about how I've been experiencing witchcraft attacks and all that and all that. In I went on a 40-day fast. God called me to a 40-day fast, right? And as I was going through the fast, um God reveals to me some of the things. There were a snake that was dedicated to my life, that was dedicated to me from a very young age. So I decided to go on a deliverance session. So in this deliverance session, God revealed a lot of things, the things that I did not know, things that I did not understand. So as I went through the deliverance, right, I got some information that really shocked me. So I started I did a video before about how I did 5 abortions, right? And guys, when every time I fall pregnant, there was this cloud that came over me. I remember I couldn't even sleep for like a week without sleep. That's how stressful that I used to feel. But now I realized that it was witchcraft. I realized that this serpent snake just wanted life of my babies, just wanted to make sure that I just kill my babies all the time, right? So I went on a deliverance session. So it's an online deliverance session. So there's a minister there, and you go through some certain announcements, re-announcement, and forgiveness, and all these things. So as I'm going through it, right, so it was just the prayer. We started with prayer. So I went through it by about like 2 or 3 hours, right? Not really 3 hours, but I think it was just 2 hours. So in the middle of it, right, so in the middle of it, I fall asleep, right? So it's an online thing. I fall asleep in the middle of it, in the middle of the deliverance session. So as I fall asleep, i I realize I have a dream. In this dream I see my sister. But my sister, she's with her twin, right? So it was shocking to me. I was like, what is going on? So as I'm asking her, she's the one who's busy talking, right? Talking to me, talking. And my sister is a talker. So next to her, it's her sister, right? And this sister is quiet. She's not saying anything. And she's just lying on the couch, right? And in the spirit, I know that the house that we are in, it's my grandmother's house. I've never been in this house. I've never been in my grandmother's house, like in the grandmother from my mother's side, right? I've never been, because when I was born, she has already passed on, right? And I think no one was living there. And when I was born, I was living in my grandmother's house from my father's side. So right, so my mother was already married and living in her husband's home. So I, in the spirit, I understood that that's where we are, right? And as she's trying to tell her, I'll ask her, like, did you know about this? Why didn't you tell me? She's like, I didn't know, I didn't, busy talking. And in the environment, I saw my younger, my not my my cousin sister was there, and my uncle was there. And this cousin sister, this cousin brother, I've been seeing a lot in my dreams, and I didn't understand why God is just showing me him all the time, right? And I am my uncle, and I saw my uncle as well, right? And it probably, my uncle is not even, not that older, that younger to my mother. So he must have known what was happening. He must have known, what was happening. But I don't know, maybe, but he was there, right? He was there. So looking at this dream, I prayed about it, okay, after I saw my cousin brother and my uncle, right? And I woke up, right? I woke up, right? And remember, this time I haven't seen my mother. I just saw my sister and her twin sister, like they just looked alike, right? And I woke up. So as I woke up, I pray about it. I'm like, my God, this is big. Like, what is going on, right? So I decided, no, let me just pray about it and continue with the session. Remember, I was in the middle of the session. So I prayed about it and I continued with the session. So I continued praying, praying with the session and all that, and did everything. So as I'm continuing, I fell asleep again, right? So as I'm falling asleep again, I have another dream, and in this one, I see my mother, in panic mode. She's bleeding, right? She's bleeding. I can see her stomach is big, and she's bleeding. And she's trying to rush to the clinic, and it was just a commotion. Like, she was just all over the place, right? And I woke up from that, right? And as I woke up, I realized, oh, so my mother had a miscarriage, and that she lost the twin, right? Right. So I prayed about that. I prayed about it, and I asked God to forgive her as well. It was a miscarriage, but miscarriage as well. Miscarriage are also categorized as a, like, bloodshed, right? So it was bloodshed, blood sacrifice to something. It's the death of somebody, right? So I prayed about it, and I prayed about it, and asked God to also forgive my mother, because God, as because I was rededicating my own abortions, right? So there was this other one, miscarriage, that was also hindering me. So that's why God brought it into my attention, so that I can also ask forgiveness on behalf of my mother, do the same process for her on her behalf, right? So that I can also be cleansed, I can also be delivered, right? So yeah, I went through that, and yes, and after that, right, I felt freer. I felt it was another step, towards my total freedom, right? And I think as well, just letting this God also give it, like, returning it into my spirit again, is that, he wants me to just announce it, just say it, so that it is not a secret, it doesn't hinder anybody anymore, right? So yeah. Guys, let us also, ask for forgiveness on our behalf, child of God, and go through deliverance sessions. Child of God, the things we do, we don't realize how it's affecting us, and it becomes a problem in future. The things we just decide, like, affect us so much. So yeah, that's it with this little bit of request from God. So yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Repentance, 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 deliverance, deliverance, deliverance. Bye guys, talk to you later.